Katherine. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. I watched all 10 episodes. Congrats on the show. I had so much fun with it. I loved it so much. I love the outfit you're wearing, by the way. Your
Oh,
shirt
thank
is so
you.
cute. I was obsessed. I was obsessed with the corset that Nimue wears, especially during like the last half of the show. And I'm curious for you, was there anything that you brought home with you after filming, like a piece of the wardrobe or a prop or something?
There's definitely a lot that I wanted to take from set. But also everything that you see, it's so like big and cumbersome. And that sort of, it was actually a piece of armor, but we made it out of leather. So it's a bit more fitted than steel leather. But at the end of the show, the amazing costume department that we have that made all those costumes, they gave me one of Nimwe's like signature woven belts. And I also, a couple of weeks after we wrapped, had this big package arrive on my doorstep, and it was the sword. So I hold the sword of power.
Yes, I love it. I was so hoping that you had the sword. I wasn't going to ask who had the sword, but I'm so happy it's you. So your character Nimue spends a lot of time in the water during the show. I love the epic water leaps when she's coming out with the sword. I'm curious for you in that particular sequence. I'm talking about the one where she comes out with the sword and she's fighting. Without giving away too many spoilers, how many times did you shoot that? What did that look like on set? I'm just really curious to know because that was one of my favorite sequences in the show.
Oh, I'm so glad. It's interesting because movie magic plays such a huge role. And I think it wasn't, I've always been a fan of this genre. And I don't think it was until I was filming this that I realized just how much kind of magic goes into putting it all together, but also how much effort. The scene that we're talking about, or that you're talking about without giving too much away, we actually shot that over 2 days. And it was the first, we shoot out of order. So, like things that you see, we may have shot months away from each other. And I hadn't actually, during filming, picked up a sword for 3 months because we'd been so full on with stunt choreography. So after the first hour, I actually I think I tore the ligaments in my right wrist. So that whole fight scene, my hand is strapped. But yeah, we shot in this beautiful pond sort of. It looks a lot more epic than that, but we took 2 days to shoot it, and I'm really proud of everyone and what they put together.
Yeah, I loved it. It looked gorgeous too. Like the cinematography and the visuals obviously are stunning. So again, without giving too much away, Nimue has a big love interest in the show. Again, that was one of my favorite parts in the show. And I'm curious for you, since we've all been at home, we're all watching, more shows, more movies. I'm streaming so much. Is there a particular show that you've been watching over the last few months? Or I'm just curious about any two actors or characters that you are shipping in a show, because I was shipping Nimue so much in this show, and I'm curious for you, do you have like a favorite TV show ship or movie ship, maybe something you've seen over the last couple of months, or just in general your favorites?
Well, it's fun. I mean, I feel like I've also, like everyone, I've probably watched more in the last couple of weeks or months than I usually would have. And so I'm trying to recall everything I've watched, but most recently I've been watching a lot of reality TV like Queer Eye and RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
And I just finished Pose season 2, and there's a really beautiful relationship in there between Angel and Pappy. So I was a big shipper of those two.
Awesome. I haven't watched Pose, but I love Billy Porter so much. He's amazing. With the climate that the entire world is in, obviously, like this show ends on a couple of different cliffhangers, literally. And I'm curious for you as an actor. I have talked with a lot of actors, during this time. Are you a little nervous about going back to work if they were to, green light a second season for this sooner than later? What are your thoughts in getting back into filming and getting back to work, after the climate in which we're in right now?
I mean, I'm excited. Like, I like this is one of those really rare jobs. I mean, maybe not a rare job, but for me, to be able to do what I love and call it a job is just such a surreal thing. And I think as a creative, it's been interesting creating during quarantine, but I'm also really excited to get back and see everyone and work with different people again. But at the same time, I think it's been hard for everyone, and including the music industry, including the film industry. And so I think we've just got to go back when it's safe, and no one really knows when that will be. But when we do, I think people will be really ready to get back to work in a safe way.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the show. Like I said, I watched all 10 episodes and I found it so fun. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch those water sequences now and look for yours, but I didn't notice anything. You rocked it. You did so well. It was awesome.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Thanks, Catherine. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye
Bye.
bye.